Hello, everyone. Welcome to our first episode of WWE The People, the podcast for the fans, by the fans. My name's Ted Terzansky, and with me is Triple J, Joe JG, and Danny No-Go, Danny Nagowski. What's up, guys?
What's going on, man?
Hola.
Did you guys watch the nice episode of Monday Night Raw last night?
Yes, I did. Finally, I finished it. So
Yeah, I feel like ever since WrestleMania, it's just like everything. My expectations have just been set so high that just a plain episode of Raw, I'm kind of like But last night, I was impressed last night. So I think we're gonna go around the room, and this is our first episode. So I'm super excited to be here, super excited to launch this, and super excited to have you guys with me. My brother Andy Terzansky is supposed to be here at some point, but I think he's too busy fighting supervillains right now. So whenever the hurricane shows up, he'll be here at some point.
can't you like guys like telepathically talk to each other like get here now?
At some point, if he joins, we'll probably say the same thing at the same time. And even with the auto delay, even with the with the micro delay, we'll still end at the same time.
I swear in high school they switched spots. They were like the Bella twins, like twin magic. Like if one of them was running late to a class and they were closer, they would just go into that class and pretend to be the other.
Well, why wouldn't you? You see the guy who played Freddie Mercury, because his brother, they're twins.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, and he said in college, I think he switched with his brother. They switched a class because he was struggling, and to do like the test, they switched, and he passed. Yeah, I look that up when you get a chance. I forget the full story. He was I think it was when he was promoting Bond, and I saw like the interview, and he said
I liked him in Bond.
Yeah, he's a good villain.
Which one was that? Ted, you're a Bond guy.
No Time to Die.
That's it. Yeah.
Yep.
But anyway, last night, Monday Night Raw. So it's a week before SummerSlam. So I'm anticipating next week's Raw to be somewhat of a dud because it's the go home show. But last night's Raw, I think the best match of the night for me was Sammy and Jey Uso against the Judgment Day, with Braun Breaker interrupting in the end and just beating the crap out of Sami Zayn. I enjoyed that thoroughly.
Was that a real injury?
What, Ilya?
Yeah.
Dragunov? I don't think it was, because they had to make him look strong still. You can't beat up his character and not make him look strong.
Yeah, when he first did that spear and his back hit the side of the ring, I was like, oh, well, like that.
Yeah.
And you always, I try to see if I can catch the referee with the X, but I didn't see
Yeah.
But yeah, just real quick to touch base on what you said about Raw and everything. One thing I will notice, if you guys remember the Attitude Era, what was great about the Attitude Era, even the mid-card stories were great. You know what I mean? Like some of them were mediocre, you know what I mean? But it had your attention. And since I would say this time, I would say probably like Money in the Bank, SummerSlam from last year on, I felt, I guess it's a Triple H era, the show has been very similar to that. I follow more mid-card now than I think I have since the Attitude Era, or maybe like the early Cena era. You know what I'm saying?
They definitely done a good job propping up the mid-card. Yeah. It's been sorely lacking.
Still needs some work on some aspects.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
Right, but I do like it. But as far as the best match, I have it right here. It's just I also agree with the same match.
Yeah.
But Sammy, dude, Sammy's just that good. It's that he from an in-ring, for his in-ring talent, he's just that good.
He's a great character.
He's great. I just didn't think when he won the title off Gunther, I didn't think it was it wasn't a convincing win.
I agree with that.
It's just like, he just kept getting slammed and slammed and slammed, and then all of a sudden, here comes a Halua kick and he wins the title. And it's just
right.
I don't think it was a good idea to have Gunther drop the title then. I just didn't think it was. We all thought it was going to be, obviously, oh my God, jeez, we all thought that's
Gable.
Chad Gable.
Yeah.
Jesus, I don't know why but like looking at where the story is now with what Chad Gable, it kind of makes sense why they didn't. But at the time, he was the underdog that we all wanted to see win. I felt he deserved it.
Well,
Right.
I think the original plan was Gunther to either drop the title or at some point face Brock Lesnar. But I think as
Oh,
long as Lesnar's name is still involved in that lawsuit, he's not going anywhere.
Right.
no, I think at one point Brock will come back. I mean, but
Yeah, you're starting to see the ripple effect is starting to subside a little bit.
I mean,
Yeah,
before you couldn't even mention a certain name, and just watching the Miz documentary, his name was all over it.
Well,
They were dropping Vince's name.
hints. Drop it. Oh, Vince. I thought you were talking about the other
Vince.
guy. Oh, okay. I
No,
thought you were
no,
talking about the other guy.
Vince. No, Vince. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah, yeah,
Man,
yeah.
if you're
He's
gonna drop,
Voldemort.
yeah, if you're gonna drop Vince's name, you can,
now I mean, if they are going to have Brock come back, SummerSlam could be an opportunity. So if Gunther beats Damian Priest, but I don't see Priest losing at SummerSlam.
Ooh. Well, we'll get into that because we're talking about SummerSlam, right?
Yeah,
In a little bit.
that's on. Yep, that's still on the card.
I
But
kind of got a format for that, but yeah.
yeah, JG,
For so I didn't see the end of Raw. I did watch the highlights, obviously, this morning because, like I told you earlier, Ted, I'm old and I fall asleep early anymore. So it was a good match, but I love Braun Breaker, and just him versus Ilya was just so damn good. So that was probably my favorite match of the night.
well,
nice.
that was the Money in the Bank mistake, as I call
That
it.
was 100%. 100%. They gave Braun back his like badass.
They gave him a weakness, and I
Yes,
don't think they should have just yet.
I agree 100% with that.
And the best segment of the night, not matches but segments. But I think for me it's a toss up between Dom and Liv or Uncle Howdy giving Gable the Sister Abigail.
That was mine.
Yo, I'm gonna say this, and I said I'm gonna give you exactly the same thing I said to my son. I mean, no disrespect, but Taylor does that move way better. The
Yeah,
way just his delivery of it, I felt was just, but I, like I said in our group chat earlier today, JJ, I said, you finally got a taste of what Taylor's Uncle Howdy, whatever, his in-ring look. And
Yes.
I absolutely love it.
He looks like he
love it.
packed on like 40 pounds of muscle. He looks
He was always an underrated
amazing.
star. He just had a he had a terrible gimmick. That's
and he also had like again,
it wasn't booked well.
it didn't fit him. It didn't fit him. Now he looked like Uncle Howdy yesterday, if that makes sense.
It felt like, for years, everybody, when you watch I'm sure you both watched the documentary, but you can see that for the years, the two of them have like a very similar direction what they like. Obviously, Bray is just a creative genius,
Right?
But it was just the timing of it. They brought Bo Dallas in. Bo Dallas had this, cheesy gimmick and everything, so they couldn't really put the two together at the time. And then it sucks that when they finally, the stars aligned for them to do it, Bray, suddenly passed away.
Yeah.
But that's why this is like just feels different. It feels different than, oh, he's just taking over his brother's legacy. I was like, no, this was something his brother was setting up for the two of them. You know what I mean?
Correct.
And so, like, I don't look at it like, oh, you're going to tarnish the legacy of Bray Wyatt. No, like the big picture was to have Taylor involved anyway. And, obviously he was let go first, and then obviously they both were gone. And then when he came back, we were going to introduce his character, Uncle Howdy. But now the promos he's given, yeah. My favorite segment at night, and I am very biased with this. Uncle Howdy is my number one thing right now. I still love my Cody Rhodes. I know we can, me and the guy down here on my end, he's on the bottom. We'll get into the Cody Rhodes era, but Uncle Howdy to me is number one thing for me in WWE right now. I just hope it goes from here to the ring just as good, but I feel like it's less supernatural again, and that's the smartest way they can take this.
What I like is that they're not rushing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people are aggravated by that.
Of course, everyone listen. No one's ever going to be happy.
Yeah, but that all comes down to good storytelling.
And exactly, that's exactly right. And I said everything. I mean, look how long the Cody Rhodes story has gone before it. I mean, they went through 2 manias before anything happened. And technically 3. If you think about, he came back and
a ton of rewrites.
Yeah. So Triple H, Hunter's or Paul's like long-term storytelling is smart. And I think everything should be this way because I mean, again, I don't like to bash AEW for any of the sort, but giving so much creative freedom to the talent can only take you so far. And
Right.
one thing about wrestling is I know some of the old school wrestlers are not a huge fan of the storytelling going on now, but and all the high flying and all that stuff, but actually coming in there and creating an actual story. Give you a quick little, I don't want to get off topic too much, but give you an example of what I'm talking about, especially with the Cody Rhodes thing. Is my sister, my oldest sister, is 45 years old. I have never seen her touch anything to do with wrestling. She's never watched it. She don't care about it. She don't do nothing. But when WrestleMania came around and she was like, why am I crying over this Cody Rhodes guy? Like, it's just, you know what I mean? Like people, that's what's grabbing people again. It's the story. And that's what grabbed us when we
Yes.
were in the Attitude Era. You know what I mean? It was the
Yeah.
same thing. The
Well,
stories.
when the gong went off for the Undertaker, just the chills
Yep.
Yeah.
from just the
Yep.
gong alone.
I got
I
to
mean,
witness. I got to witness my seats from a video from the Gong.
Yeah,
Right.
I felt so bad for you.
From my.
yeah.
Well, I don't know if you told. I transferred the tickets to my niece, and my niece took her boyfriend and their little brother, so they got to go do it. And she's just like trying. She's like, "Oh my god!" Because she says, "Like, is there going to be anybody I even know?" Because she never got into it. Her boyfriend likes it. And then she got, and you see it. Oh my god, it's John Cena. Oh my god, the Undertaker. And I'm just sitting there, go like, wow, my seats were pretty good. Awesome.
It was, I mean, Ted, you know, you and I were both there, and it was, I equated to, because I've been to World Series games, I've been to playoff games.
Lincoln Financial doesn't.
It was
Nothing compared to that.
It was like, yeah, wrestling, especially when the Undertaker's gong went off. But I mean, Danny, you've known me forever, and I was never really on board the Cena train. But I popped like a little girl when fucking Cena's music played. I was like, oh my god!
My son is going to be 17 now, but him and JJ had a very strong rivalry when my son was 6 years old, and it was the Cena versus CM Punk, all that stuff. It's pretty comical, actually.
Yeah,
I wish we got on. I wish we got on video.
I was arguing with a 5-year-old, 6-year-old.
Legit mad. Now he's a father. He's looking back at like.
Speaking of 5-6-year-olds, the worst segment of last night for me was definitely the Tozawa birthday and the 6-man tag match.
They're trying. They're trying.
That thing is just so embarrassing.
Well, I think that's one of the things I don't like about Raw being 3 hours, because it just it drags out, and when you have segments like that, it's not, you start to lose interest.
Exactly. It tunes people out.
I said it for a while. It's the 3 hour is just getting a little bit too much. And not to mention, like, because it's 3 hours, like, it's funny because you can always tell when it's going to commercial. And like, I'm like, yesterday they cut to a commercial at a crucial part in the very beginning. Like when
yes.
Right in the beginning, when like they were Damien and
Gunther.
And Gunther. They were down the aisle, and then it cuts right to commercials. I'm hoping when it goes to Netflix, I never thought in a million years I want to go back to being a subscriber to Netflix, but I'm hoping when it is the case, they treat the ads like they do with the pay-per-views. You know, maybe one quick little 30-second trailer.
Right, and then back to the action.
Yeah, or like something, hey, you know, like here is the Slim Jim Slam of the week and everything, and you got the match going right here and something here. Like, I hope they stick to that. But I think if they do that, and there's not that much ads or commercials, they are going to have to bring it down to 2 hours. Now, the rumor is, right, they're going to do that, and then SmackDown on USA is going to be 3 hours, I think.
I don't know about SmackDown being 3 hours, but I know SmackDown's moving to USA, and NXT is going to CW, I think.
CW, yeah.
Now, wasn't SmackDown on like UPN 57 or whatever it was?
That became CW.
Yeah, right.
CW,
so it's like full circle.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the same thing when they're going back to sci-fi. It's the Olympics. You know,
exactly.
They did the same thing. You know, and then Raw was on sci-fi for a little bit of time.
For a tiny, like ECW and
TNN, which became FX, I think it is. Yeah.
Was it Spike TV? Wasn't it?
Spike TV,
I don't remember.
Was it?
Yeah. There's just too many.
That was. I mean, I love the Attitude Era, but my greatest recollection of wrestling was the Ruthless Aggression Era.
That's when we, because
You know, that's
Ted
what
and
we
I
grew
are
up with.
same
I'm
age. Yeah.
I'm older than you
Yeah.
guys.
Well, see, I remember the Attitude Era, but I didn't, I appreciate because it was Stone Cold, The Rock, Undertaker, stuff like that. I remember Mick Foley being thrown off the cage and all, but you
I
know,
just I don't know how I can't for the life of me find one person that I know that was suspended or expelled for saying "suck it." I mean
oh yeah,
Uh,
that was a regular thing, and I went
yeah.
to
my
Catholic
my
school.
grade school, like there was a whole memo that went out to parents on that. Because in the yearbook picture, we had the whole class yearbook picture. Kids would be doing the suck it while while the picture is being taken.
What a time to be alive.
It was,
It's still
and
the best, and it's still the best. A lot of it still works. You go back and watch it. You know what I mean? And some of the things I'm like, phew.
Dude,
And I
if you
mean,
go
I
back and
think
watch some of it now as an adult, you're like, what the hell?
the only thing that's awkward to watch, and I'm not saying this just because I'm a parent, just the bra and panty stuff and everything like that. Like go back and look at it like, yeah, they did that.
Just
And I go
blatantly
like,
too.
and I look at it like, this is why I didn't need the internet at
Yeah.
15 years old.
my wife would look at it and be like, "You were allowed to watch this as a kid." I'm like, "No, of course I wasn't
No,
allowed to watch
no,
it. I
no,
would
God, no.
sneak and watch it."
Of
My
course,
God,
that was the thing.
I was wondering why, like, I go back to it and I look at, Sonny before Sonny became now. If I watched it on my old VHS tapes, I wonder why, like, why is it not coming in? Oh, it was played over and over and over again. And I was like, man, if I would have had a miniature VHS screen, I could take that into my childhood bathroom at the time.
Uh,
Oh my god! Well,
so
we have gone way off the deep end, but guys,
now
There
Simon
you go.
let's.
sent them 1 week.
So what was up with this new faction now they got going on with these girls? Like, what's their end game? Are they going for the tag titles or what? It's the Baszler. What's the
Yeah,
girl that
Zoe
was with Trish
Stark
Stratus?
and
Yeah, that's it. And
yeah.
then
I can't
the
think.
one that was with Mandy for a while. Oh, Sonya.
Sonya.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it Damage Control 2.0.
I guess they just have nothing for them, so they just clump them all together.
They're trying. They're
Again,
throwing things
again,
against the wall.
this goes back to Raw being 3 hours.
Right.
They need time to kill. I mean, don't get me wrong, the match actually wasn't bad. It was actually a decent match.
Yeah, see, that was my hey, I gotta let my dog out. So
Well, I felt the women's Money in the Bank was better than the
oh,
men's Money.
absolutely.
But like, I mean, but the women's Money in the Bank was very scary to watch because of some of
Because
the
there's
things
so
they
many
did.
botches.
Yeah, and it's like, and well, that's the one thing I'd like to. I'll discuss this real fast. I've said this to you, JJ. I'm pretty sure I did about. Again, there's sometimes I love the storyline for the women more than the men. Like, I mean, that time when it was when they main event at WrestleMania, it was Becky, Charlotte, and a Ronda. That was great. That was a great storyline stuff. But the one thing
I
I
was
noticed
sunken
is,
into your couch by the end of that night.
I will say is you you said the ruthless aggression, like the aggression that the male wrestlers put into their moves and stuff compared to the women. That's what I think is lacking in the women's division. It just seems like they are so careful that what they do that it's noticeable. Where
Right.
like, you know what I mean? Like when Roman or Edge or anybody is going for a spear and somebody takes the spear, you know what I mean? AJ got hurt,
Broke his shoulder or something, right?
but they sold it to where you're like, yo, I believe that.
Right.
I always feel like the girls when they're in the ring, and it's nothing against them. I compared to what we grew up with, yes, it's fantastic, and I think it's going to get better. But this is why they're always kind of mid card and never so much, at the top just yet. And then Bailey deserves it, but she also needs opponents that can do this as well. When they're running off the ropes, they're running at each other. When the guys are doing it, Braun Breaker easily. There you go.
Oh my God,
he's running. He looks like he's running 70 miles an hour across the thing, and he rams into somebody.
tank.
But if you look at the women's division, if they're doing that, looks like they're running around, and right before the impact thing happens, they kind of slow down. Yeah, and it's noticeable.
Yeah.
And I think if they can just get past that point, they will be right there with the guys.
Well, I forget when Zoe Stark tried to throw somebody on the ladder, and I guess either she lost her grip or somebody stopped, and I thought, oh shit, this is disaster waiting to happen,
Yep.
like because she landed on her head.
Oh yeah, from the rope when
Oh,
she jumped
Io
over.
Sky. Io Sky.
Well,
Yeah.
no. Elo Sky was the one that had her at the top and flipped her over to the thing that was on the ground.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, there was just so much going on.
Yeah, Zoe. I don't believe it was Elo Sky. It may have been, but Zoe was on the rope outside of the ropes, and the ladder's laying down like this, and you can clearly tell she wanted to come in and do like land with like her lower back to hit her. And when she came through, she went head first and missed completely.
Yeah.
I mean, and it looked like, oh my God, like somebody really got hurt. And then also, obviously, the other one, the biggest botch to me, or just looked, it was almost like, again, going back, if when she climbed the ladder, I think it was with Zoe, and when they came to do the flip over the ladder, it looks like they just decided, hey, just drop. And because of that, whoever was on the bottom had all the weight and couldn't couldn't really collect, where most guys would, if they're in there, they're going to jump forward with the flip, make it look like it's all you lifting them. And it looks like they just dropped. And I was like, I am shocked at the press conference. I watched the press conference just to see if Hunter would say, hey, so-and-so was injured. We're checking her out and everything. When he said nobody got hurt, everybody was banged up normally, like what happens in a Money Bank, but no real injuries. I was shocked.
Act of God.
Shocked. Yeah, there's my dog. So actually, here you go.
And then Chelsea Green going through 2 tables. I mean, that was pretty cool.
Chelsea's amazing, though.
Yeah.
So, guys, SummerSlam in 1 week. So,
is it 1 week? I thought it was 2 weeks.
It's next Saturday,
well, it's
not this Saturday,
week
following Saturday.
Yeah.
So, a week from this coming Saturday. What are you guys expecting to happen? So, for me, for starters, Roman has to come back.
100%,
Yeah,
100%.
Roman has to come back. I'm expecting Dominic to turn on Rhea.
Yes.
And I want to see it. I'm not sure it's going to happen, but I want LA Knight to dethrone Logan.
I think it's happening.
I do too.
And at some point, the Judgment Day is going to break up.
It's happening soon.
This is what I've been saying this probably for like 3 months now, but I'm going to say it again. I do believe that Finn Balor and JD McDonough are going to cost Damian Priest the title at SummerSlam. And then I think that's going to lead into a feud with Damian Priest and Finn Balor.
It's such a shame because and I agree with you, Joe, but I think it's such a shame because the Judgment Day had the opportunity to be a big faction, and it's turned out to be comical at this point.
It's become a joke, absolutely.
And they made the mistake. They made the mistake of allowing the Judgment Day to have too many losses, easy losses.
Yes. And then they put jobbers in there too, which doesn't help.
Like, to me, Carlito I like Carlito, but in the Judgment Day, it makes no sense to me.
No, none.
They're just trying to find a spot to put them in there.
Exactly. There goes your 3-hour thing again.
And
which could have been him and Andrade.
I mean,
Andrade would have been great.
Yeah, and with the New Testament now rising, I thought the New Testament, but I thought the Judgment Day would be a good, that would be a good faction versus faction.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we had always talked about how the final or the Judgment Day and the Wyatt 6 would have been a good feud in the future.
I felt that would have been a great way to break the Judgment Day up. You know what I mean? But what they're doing, I mean, you can see the writing on the wall. You see what's going on with Damian. You see how that's going to split up. I think Finn Balor and JD are going to still be a tag team thing in the end. I think. Honestly, I felt the Judgment Day, besides Rhea being as awesome as she is, was just a platform for them to push Dom.
Oh, dude, and it worked.
And Dom is over. And nobody hates Dom. It's just
it's fun to boo him.
Fun to boo him. Yeah. And if anything, I think he's gonna be in the next 2-3 years, he'll be WWE champion.
Wow.
So 2-3 years tops.
Well, you better hit the gym because I
don't think that matters. I mean, I really don't think. I mean, Ray.
It didn't matter his father. He's a lot taller than his father.
Ray carried that.
Ray is built. I mean, Dominic just looks. I don't know. To me, he looks like any one of us. So
he'd be a good Intercontinental Champion. I think. Give him that belt soon.
Yeah, but I mean, I look. I mean, you got a couple years. He's young as hell. What is he?
20? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's got the whole future in front of him. He's golden.
But like I said, 2-3 years, I think he's main event status.
But yeah, definitely Roman has to come back.
Yeah.
Roman's going to come back. And my prediction is he comes back. Jimmy and Jay are back with him, and then you've got a Bloodline Civil War for Survivor Series.
Danny's been calling that for like 2 years now, literally
2
2 years.
2 years. I said the exact same thing. I said Cody is going to win. With The Rock being involved, just put the stamp on it. And I said it for 2 years. I said I should copyright this idea, and now it's all over the place. So
Literally,
and The
at
Rock
least
is the
2
one
years.
pulling the strings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
and that's what's gonna and with that's what with Cena, doing his one last year. That's why I said to you guys today, JJ. I said, I think Cena's gonna have some nostalgia matches over a year. It might be with Punk, maybe with Miz, or maybe with Randy.
Orton,
But I
yeah.
believe if it's gonna be SummerSlam, if it's whatever it is, I believe his final match should be with Cody. I just
Like a passing of the torch.
Yep. I do. I
that
really
would
do.
mean that would
His
mean
last match is not at Mania.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to he could win the title, but he doesn't have to win at Mania. But I think he loses his final match. And I think
It seems to be a common trend that everyone who's retiring loses their final match.
Unless there's 2 matches, unless Cena wins the Rumble, goes after Cody, because you put Cody aside, what's Cody got outside of Randy Orton or Cena? Because come WrestleMania, it's Roman and Rock. It's happening this year.
Yeah, oh yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean?
It's happening.
So do you have Cena beat the record and win at Mania against Cody, and then Cody wins it back for his final match at SummerSlam?
So I had said I would like the idea of heel Randy Orton, bald Randy Orton, winning the title off of Cody at like Royal Rumble or something. Cena wins the Rumble. I know
it's so hard now. It's so hard.
Here's the thing,
they
though.
did this with Edge. They did it with Edge. You can have heel Randy, but he's not gonna be. They're gonna look. Everybody loves him.
Yeah,
you can't hate him anymore.
So here's what okay. I know it's tough, but at the same time, I think they're going to expect that.
They said the same thing about The Rock too, and then
what's
Rock turned out to be one of the greatest heels in professional.
But Rock.
Let's just be honest. The Rock's just an ass.
But The Rock, see, but the thing is like I just don't. I can. You got to put The Rock in its separate thing. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. That's why I said The Rock.
And The Rock was a heel, and he was the final boss. But we still loved him for it. You know what I mean?
I agree.
And that's what I'm saying. So Edge, same thing. They tried it with the Judgment Day, and he even said like it just didn't
and
work.
Joey JG sounding like the Cody Crybabies.
Yeah. But like, so I think yeah, if you bring Randy in, the problem is now is the person that Randy is now.
Yeah.
It's, what I mean? So there's a lot of the outside the ring stuff that is now on camera. So and he had his biography, and came out that how he was this stuck up son of a bitch that nobody liked. He was cocky, he was all this, and now he's not. And now he's just like, I like having fun. I like doing this.
Right.
Like, I mean, look what video this would have never came out. Wow, something stupid as this.
Oh no!
When they announced him coming down the aisle, and they're like 230, he goes, "I've been lifting 230.
Yeah, I'm 290 easy. Yeah,
like that Randy is there again. They could still make him a heel. They can, but I think it's too tough. Like
I agree. You'll never get bald Randy Orton heel ever again. That was probably top 5 heels of all time.
Oh,
you'll never ever get that again.
The true legend killer Randy.
The punting in the head and all that. I mean, he took out everybody with the punt and all that stuff. I mean, that was just awesome. That was him and Cena. Just that was perfect. That literally was Rock Stone Cold prime.
Mm-hmm. I think they'll do it again. I think they're going to try. Yeah. They're going to try, but he's going to be over too well. And I think just like how you're feeling, like you couldn't wait for Cody to do it, but you hated Cena. You loved Cena in the beginning, but then you hated Cena when he became the Fruity Pebble, eat your vitamins kind of guy. And that's what,
it got old.
But you know what? That's what Cody is now. Every generation is going to have that superhero.
Sure,
you're going to have it. And you know what? You know me, I'm a big Superman guy, so I will always cheer on that guy. But we'll talk about we're talking SummerSlam, so that's where we're going to get into the whole what we talked about Cody and what he needs to be successful champion. So Ted, continue. We're getting off track again.
Yeah, we are. But but I think Cody and Solo. I mean, I'm so sick of Cody versus the Bloodline. That's why Roman's got to come in and save the day, because
But that's what Cody needs.
That's exactly what Cody needs.
It's like you can't have Superman. You can have all these other characters. Doomsday. You can have Eric, but you need Lex Luthor.
I was going to say Batman and Joker, but basically
you can have Batman. You can have Mr. Freeze. You can have everybody. But look at all the movies.
You want the Joker.
Even the last one, they had to somehow slip the Joker somewhere in that story. You need that villain, and you want to think it's Roman Reigns, but really it's the Bloodline. And then I think his Joker is the Bloodline itself and The Rock.
Yeah.
So, do you think that this new Bloodline faction get themselves a wise man?
Yeah. I mean, Paul Heyman's he's out right. He's been out, so he's good. He's coming back with Roman.
Exactly. He's going to be like. So I had always thought I thought it'd be a cool idea to bring Brock Lesnar back into the fold. Would have been had Paul Heyman calling on both Roman and Brock Lesnar to take down the Bloodline, since they're both Paul Heyman guys.
Oh, sorry, guys. You're gonna have the cold bloods come in here, bro. Jay's already wearing the blue. He's just wearing the Bloodline gear in blue.
Right.
And I can just see, Roman, like Ted said, Roman comes back, Jimmy comes back.
So how do you think this match goes down? How do you think this match goes down?
If Sammy loses the Intercontinental Championship,
he needs to lose that.
If he loses it at SummerSlam, he's in the Bloodline.
But how do you think Solo and Cody ends? How do you see that going down, you guys?
I see the ending of every Bloodline story.
I see, yeah.
And
Bloodline,
then
I think we'll win.
Yep. And then
Cody wins.
No,
by
I think Solo wins, and then Roman comes out, and then
I don't think Cody loses his title yet. I don't.
Okay, so Ted, you were saying Cody loses, but he loses via disqualification.
Something along those lines.
I could see that.
But I think Solo would lose either via disqualification, because either some kind of interference or somebody from the Bloodline, and then as they're ganging up on Cody, Roman comes out.
Yeah, I can see that.
So I was going to put a little WrestleMania 40 twist to it. It was going to be like Randy and Kevin Owens were going to come out to try to help them, but then they got the crap kicked out of them by the Bloodline. And then again, Cody's getting his ass kicked in the middle of the ring, and then all of a sudden you hear Roman Reigns' theme go off, and all hell just breaks loose. I think Roman just comes by himself.
I think the Roman theme should go off, but it should be Jimmy, Jay, and him with Paul coming out through the crowd.
You think that all three of them would come out?
No.
I think just Roman right now.
I think it's just going to be just Roman as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's built up too much that if it's not Roman, they're going to probably burn that place down if Roman don't show up.
Rikishi's blasting WWE online about the whole Jay being in love with Rhea type thing.
Yeah, it's a little weird side quest he's got going on right now.
I think the whole, not to get on topic of that, but I think the whole Rhea and Dom thing, knowing that they both just got married,
right?
In real life, like I mean, who are you trying to get over on? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
That's the only thing. It's like if you're gonna break that kayfabe and really show the outside, like why are you even putting that into a story?
Right. It would have made more sense with Liv Morgan.
Right.
It makes more sense with her. That's why, like you said, Ted, earlier, that Dom is going to turn on Rhea, and it's going to be Dom and Liv.
Yeah.
I feel like it's storytelling 101. So
yeah, you hit the nail on the head with that. But on the other subject of SummerSlam, so we're in agreement that Cody. So no, Ted, you think Cody's going to lose? Danny, you think Cody's going to lose?
I don't think
not the title.
No, I mean, I don't think it's going to be. The only way he loses is by count out, and the ref doesn't see it. But there's no way that there's no way the Bloodline allows it. I do think it's going to be a situation where Cody wins, but there will be obviously a ton of outside interference, and that's where the bell's going to go nuts and all that stuff. He's going to get his ass whooped.
They don't do that anymore.
He's going to be tied around the ropes.
Well, they're gonna next Saturday.
Yeah, and then you're gonna hear Roman's brand new theme.
Oh Jesus!
It's gonna go
Broken Dreams. Broken dreams.
And it's gonna be ooh ah, and then he's gonna come out
Jeez.
because you know that's what every what's their names have to make every theme start out with them saying something first.
Yeah, that's the thing now. So, how about the other big match that's going to be taking place next Saturday? The in-ring
So
return of CM Punk.
if CM Punk is healthy,
Yeah,
if
well,
he
he's
is, hold on, we weren't impressed at the Royal Rumble, but we don't know how good he was because by the time it got to that point where it was just him and Cody and everything like that, he was already hurt. You
yeah,
know what I mean? So you were able to kind of camouflage that a bit throughout when there's a ton of people in the Rumble. Now we get to see one-on-one from beginning to end how he is. If he's very slow and sluggish,
yeah. Their return on investment may not be that great.
yeah, is the nostalgia alone is gonna the pop's gonna be crazy.
The
But
nostalgia,
Yeah, but then
that's
it
why
might
they're
wear off.
but that's why
right,
they're bringing in that's why they're bringing in Seth Rollins as the special
100%.
referee because it's
Mhm.
gonna I feel like WWE they've Triple H just lost faith in Punk and he's just I don't think he can carry this on his own.
It's funny because when he came back in Survivor Series, he looked fit. He
He looked
looked
good.
fit.
Right.
But then
Yeah,
when he got the Rumble, I was like, he don't look like that guy that came down the aisle a month and a half ago, you know.
right.
But we'll see. He looks pretty good
Burger
right now. I mean, he
after
looks pretty good right.
burger.
Yeah, banger. But he looks,
Burger after burger.
but he looks pretty good right now. I think he was cleared a month ago. To be quite honest with you.
Oh, he
I'll
definitely
listen. I will say that the way they've handled this storyline has been phenomenal.
yeah.
Nothing short, but a
Yeah.
phenomenal.
I
Other than and then Danny, we've talked about this. Their misstep at Money in the Bank. I think that was a big misstep on all parts. But other than that, from January to where we're at today, it has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
and yeah, the heel turn from McIntyre, just the whole like, CM Punk's WrestleMania dreams.
Dude,
Yes. Oh man, our buddy
Tombstone.
Frank has that shirt.
that's what
Yeah,
Daniel has.
Shout
That's
out
what he
to
wore.
Frank.
That's what he wore at WrestleMania.
That's right. And
Yeah.
Danny's son Daniel has the same shirt.
Yeah.
Shout out to Daniel.
But yeah, yeah, I think again, long-term storytelling, like so, hopefully the build, and you know what? I trust Hunter to the point where like I don't think it's going to end with one or the other really getting over on somebody. I think they're setting up for the three of them and then potentially something big for Punk and Rollins come WrestleMania next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get a triple threat at one point.
But you're right, Dan. It's going to be worth keeping an eye out and see what's CM Punk. Do we get WWE CM Punk or do we get that AEW CM Punk?
I think you're gonna see classic CM Punk.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. So
Damn, my dog's being annoying my kid. She's like, "Do I let him out?" No, he's fine. He's just looking for attention.
sounds good. Well, I think we're gonna wrap this up, guys. Appreciate your time tonight, and
Yeah, tell your brother we missed him.
yeah, I don't know what his deal was.
He'll be ready for next week's.
Yeah, he'll be ready for next week. But I do have one more question for you guys.
Go for
Do you believe?
it.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
Yo, where do you see the pop at Royal Rumble when he comes?
Oh
out?
yeah, he's
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
be at the Rumble. There's no way he doesn't show up at the Rumble.
They're saving him.
I don't know what kind of deal TNA and WWE have right now. But if you ask me, I kept up on some TNA stuff, back when AJ Styles was part of it and everything, and obviously, but I wasn't a huge NXT guy. Like I know some people, but I don't. But the fact that they're colliding the two, I'm paying more attention to both,
Yeah.
than I ever have.
I think at some point, I think you're gonna, and this is just my guess, but I think at some point TKO is gonna buy TNA.
Yeah, it's
I
what
can
it's
see
sounding
that.
like.
Well, they said
And-
they're because TNA is looking for a new TV spot, so I could
Yeah.
see if TKO does it, that'd be great for TNA though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
Well,
it kind of gives other wrestlers obviously a platform, but it also I feel like it's kind of like you got MLB, you got AA, you got AAA, with NXT and TNA and A lot of stars who kind of just become mid-carders end up finding themselves at TNA.
And if
Yeah.
that happens, bring back the Octagon ring.
Yo, so all right, I have this one thing that I would suggest that I saw on TikTok, and I thought it was a fantastic thing. And this is where I'll end it with this. So with TNA and NXT doing things together, how funny would it be if R-Truth ends up over at TNA one time, thinking he's at Monday Night Raw, and sees like Nick Namath or whatever the hell he is, and calls him
Impact.
Impact, and
Geez,
calls him
that'd be
Dolph,
great.
calls all the WWE stars who are over there now by their WWE name.
Calls himself Ron Killings.
Yeah, like goes, yo, Dolph Ziggler. Yo, you know, I mean, like this season, he's the champ now, right? So like that's like, so it'd be funny as hell if like I was going over to Monday Night Raw, like where's everything? Oh, was it Retro Night? Because it's like all
Yeah.
it'd be hilarious.
That would be a great. That would fit
is-
his personality so well.
R-Truth is a treasure.
And if it does happen, because the rumor is that the Hardys are supposed that they have interest in the NXT tag team titles, I'd like to see that happen.
They got to give it up, man.
I believe in Jeff Hardy.
Oh God,
Have you seen that?
I have, unfortunately.
Well,
God
guys,
bless him.
I
That
think
was a lot of fun. This is gonna be.
It was fun.
Be good. This is gonna be good. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yes. Well, guys, I appreciate all your time today, and for everyone watching, if you like today's podcast, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys on the next video. So hopefully next week. Does that work for you guys?
Yeah.
Works for me.
All right. See you guys. We're life.